Hi, welcome to our on demand for February 5th, 2015, Unit 4, Lesson 8. We're going to pick up where we left off, disco. The objectives are the same as they were on Tuesday, and then we're going to move into arena rock. Our introduction question, true or false? Funk music was repetitive. Give you a second to think. That was true. Hopefully you got that correct. Next is the movie clip in Brain Honey that you are free to watch. It is, normally we would watch it during class. In it, they state the combination of the four genres of disco, which was rock, soul, Latin, and jazz. And disco was sometimes called soul music with a beat. And let me type up in here so you can listen for these. Rock, soul, Latin, and jazz. And again, disco was sometimes called soul music with a beat. Okay. That's a good movie clip. I think you'll like it. Michael Jackson's in it, so really you should watch it. It's funny, it starts off with disco and it goes all the way into reggae. Next, we're going to talk about arena rock, Unit 4, Lesson 9. You'll learn about the development of arena rock as a distinct style of rock music. Look at some of the artistic, social, and technological trends. Obviously, it was a huge technological trend to be able to fill the arena with sound. And of course, some of the artists associated with arena rock. In the 1970s, somewhere between the soft rock of singer-songwriters and the harder sounds of heavy metal, a middle-of-the-road style of rock music developed that became defined, somewhat loosely, as arena rock. The term itself is considered something of a pejorative, that is one of our vocab words, and most of the artists tagged as arena rockers would likely resist the classification. They did not like to be called arena rockers. However, the phrase is useful for describing a certain sound that became popular towards the end of the decade. With the enormous success of bands like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and the Who in the 1960s, venues larger than clubs and theaters were needed to accommodate the large audiences who wanted to see their favorite rock bands. As sound systems improved in the 1970s, it became possible for bands to play in large sports arenas and stadiums. In fact, being able to fill such spaces became something of a quest for many rock acts during this period, a way to measure their size of their fame. You can imagine how it would feel to have a whole stadium filled with fans. Arena rock came to define the softer sound of hard rock because artists like Boston, Journey, Styx, Peter Frampton, and Foreigner found success by mixing the heavy guitar riffs and the beat of hard rock with fairly light pop melodies that appealed to a large white suburban American audience. These groups even played ballads, another vocabulary term, which are love songs. They sold a lot of records and sold out arenas doing it. Here's the cover for Boston. And then in Brain Honey is the song More Than a Feeling. It's a good tune. Please listen to it. While the phrase arena rock is associated with a sound, it now mostly refers to any style of rock music that appeals to a large mainstream audience. Music critics have usually dismissed arena rock acts, but the bands associated with the term sold millions of records, and their songs continue to play on classic rock stations across America. Vocabulary. A pejorative is a word or phrase that is considered, I'm missing the ed on that, to be an insult, derogatory, and uncomplimentary. So the bands that were called arena rockers, they didn't like to be called arena rockers, so it was a pejorative. It was kind of an uncomplimentary phrase for them. And in rock music, the term ballad basically refers to any love song, and that's why I have the heart there. And then we would go through normally and do our breakouts. I'm going to go ahead and go over these. And I need a tool. Let's see if I can get it. Well, the development of disco marked the dawn of exclusively dance-based popular music. And that would be true. Insert. There we go. Nightclubs called discotheques that played only music for dancing gave disco music its name. That one would also be true. Despite its massive popularity, established rock and pop groups refuse to record disco records, which is false. Record producers created the disco sound by mixing the danceable rhythms of funk and soul with strong melodic hooks that made the music popular with larger audiences. And that was true. While disco was immensely popular in the 1970s, it also provoked a strong backlash among people who found its lyrics sappy and the arrangements were overblown. And that was true. The pejorative is a word or phrase that is considered to be a compliment. And that is true. Most bands tagged as arena rockers would likely resist such classification, and that would be true. As sound systems improved in the 1970s, it became possible for rock bands to play in larger venues such as sports arenas. And this is an example of a technological trend. That is true. In order to produce all that sound to fill the arena, it had to be technologically a new trend. Arena rock came to define the softer side of hard rock as arena bands blended heavy guitar riffs with light pop melodies. And this one, I'm sorry, considered to be a compliment, this is false. It's the opposite. Sorry, I'm trying to rush and I shouldn't be. In rock music, the term ballad basically applied to any love song, and that was true. So it was false, true, 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 true. Your independent practice is to read in your book about Boston, bottom of page 48 and top of page 49, and answer the quiz. There are 2 questions about the reading that you will need to do. If you guys have any problems, email me, sandy.boyer, small s, at pacyber.org. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll see you Tuesday. Have a great day.